why aren't you up here?
I just want you to know that it works, and then you just got to stick with it. And some of us it takes longer. I think you're going to do over a thought or something. A friend of mine said, I didn't know I was tired for 30 years. And 3 days it turned her life around. Just 3 days of being on the hormone.
Very frequently you'll not know how bad you felt until you felt better.
Yeah.
And a lot of us in here scratch our heads, well, I really feel pretty good. Well, there are some people that don't feel good and that can feel better. There's people that feel perfectly fine and think, well, I don't need hormones, I feel okay. Well, no. You will still deteriorate inside. Having optimal levels protects against that deterioration. Suddenly, 20 years, 25 years later, you're now falling apart. What happened? Well, you need to go back 20 years when you were feeling good and start with the protection at that time to try to avoid the deterioration that's going to take place over the next 30 years. So whether you feel good or don't feel good, whether you want a protection for health reasons, they're both good reasons to have optimal levels for it.
Well, my testosterone kicked back in. I didn't have any testosterone. It kicked back in and started producing on its own. So now I want my testosterone because it started kicking back in.
Good for you.
To me, that was wonderful because now it's almost they have to worry about it anyway. It's testosterone. But your body does do wonderful things if you just get it healthy.
I didn't pay her.
But also taking testosterone puts your sex life on kryptonite.
Wow, I don't know how to answer that one. Go ahead, yes.
The lady who referred me to come here, she was talking to me just yesterday on the phone, and she was telling me that not only did it help her, but it helped her son, and he was quite young, like 23 or 24, and he was so fatigued, and he kept gaining weight, and it even got to the point where his eyes were starting to hemorrhage, and this very guy helped to pull that kid out of his, this is what killed me. She said that you figured out that he had the thyroid of a 70-year-old man.
Yeah.
And he was 24.
He had a pituitary dysfunction. And pituitary dysfunction, you lose the hormones that normally stimulate the rest of the organs, the testes and other parts of the body. He didn't have those hormones, so he had some sort of defect or problem in his pituitary, so he wasn't making the stimulating factors that produce all those other hormones, so he was very low, and he felt lousy, he couldn't figure it out. Yeah, bringing it back up made a life completely,
and guess what?
life day difference.
He's getting married now.
Yeah, before he was pretty much
He's totally lost weight. He totally feels good about himself. His eyes are okay now.
Good. Getting back to the kryptonite story, don't want to leave that without addressing it again. The things that Carolyn and I have heard in 10 years of practicing this type of medicine is pretty amazing. We should write a book or have a television show on the different things that we've heard and the things that we've encountered. And they're all just sort of fantastic. I feel so much better. You gave me my life back. From a physician's standpoint, we don't care how you feel. We care about health. Yeah, but I don't feel good, doc. Well, that's tough. You look good on paper. Your lab tests are normal. That's not what you want to hear. But that's what we typically give you. But yes, it is important to feel good.